Alright, this video is called The Key of the End Times. And what we need to look at is Revelations 12. This is the key. The reason why I say this is the key is because this part of Revelation talks about the birth of Jesus. And it talks about the end times, when the dragon makes war against God's people and the woman. Alright? And alright. So the reason, if you look at Revelations 12, the woman, first thing it talks about, it says, I saw a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon beneath her feet, and crown of 12 stars on her head. It talks about that. That's the first thing it opens up with. And second, towards the end, it talks about how the woman is pursued by the dragon. So in verse 1 it talks about the woman. Then in verse 13 talks about the woman again, how she's being pursued by the dragon. And some people think the woman's Mary. This is why I believe it's not Mary. Because the woman gives birth. Everyone agrees that woman giving birth that's Jesus. So Jesus is the child that the dragon wanted to destroy. If you remember in the gospel, King Herod was going to kill Jesus as he came out, as he was being birthed into the world. But, Joseph and Mary fled to Egypt. So, when you read verse 5, it says she gave birth to a son to rule all the nations with an iron rod. If you read Revelation towards the end, Jesus is the one who's going to rule the nations with an iron rod. So that's undisputed, without any dispute, that's Jesus Christ. Then it says, you read verse 5, it says the child was snatched away from the dragon and caught up to God. He was caught up to God and to his throne. So if you read in the book of Acts, right in the beginning, Jesus gets caught up and he's seated at the right hand of the Father. In the book of Mark also it says he's seated at the right hand of the Father. And I didn't study immediately after that. It says it does say Jesus, the woman flees into the wilderness there, and God prepared a place for her for 1,260 days. All right. Then it also says towards the end, verse 14, it says that she would be cared for and protected from the dragon for a time and half of time. So we believe that to be time and half of time is 1/2 of the tribulation period. But what I want you to really focus on is how there was the birth, verse 5, and Jesus was caught up, right? So there was the birth, Jesus was caught up, and then verse 7 says there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and his angels. So this is a fight between the angels So you got Michael, he's the commander for God of the angels. And the other angels, which were the good angels, and they fought against Satan and the rebellious angels, which is the demons, right? It says the dragon lost the battle and his angels were forced out of heaven. And verse 9 clearly tells you this is the great dragon is the ancient serpent called the devil. So every time you see dragon in this area here, it's talking about the devil, Satan. So basically, it says that Satan is the deceiver of the whole world, and he was thrown down into earth with all his angels. So that's what you got here today. You have Satan and the demons. They that's what they do day and night. They deceive. They possess you. They attack you. You're mentally, everything. So there's a war after Jesus was gone. There's a war. There's a constant war in the spirit world. Then right there, right after verse 10, it's like an overcap or an overview of this chapter 12. It says that we were the one who accuses us day and night is Satan, and it says we defeated him by the blood of the Lamb, which is by the blood of Jesus, and by their testimony. Testimony is very important because when you give your testimony to somebody, it saves, it reinforces their faith and the faith in the Lord. And also the blood of the Lamb that's the life force for Christianity. That's what helps us to defeat Satan on a daily basis. But then if you read further, it says that they did not love their lives so much that they were afraid to die. All right. So you can't love your life so much that you're afraid to die, which is obvious because the word says that if you're a coward, you're not going to enter the kingdom. We're supposed to be bold for the Lord. Then I believe Jesus. This is in parentheses. Then you read verse 12. It says, rejoice, O heavens. After right after it says we were not afraid to lose our lives. Then it says, rejoice, O heaven, and you who live in the heavens, rejoice. But then it says, terror will come to the earth, or terror will come on the earth and the sea. Terror meaning, to me, what I believe is the beast of the sea and the beast of the earth. Because the following verse 13 talks about the beast of the sea and then the beast of the earth. So it's clearly, from verse 10 to verse 12, it's clearly telling you what must take place and what is happening now, which is right now we're in a battle for us. There's a spiritual battle against Satan, and we're winning because of the blood and because of the testimony. But the last key that I want you to see here is then it talks about how Satan gets thrown down into the earth, and he pursues the woman again. This is the woman who had who had given birth to the male child, which is Jesus. So basically what's going on here is Satan pursued the woman once before, to destroy her. And Satan's going to pursue her again. And the woman, the reason why I believe the woman's not a actual physical female is because the woman was around before and during the birth of Jesus. And the woman is around in the latter days. So I believe this to be Israel. And then it says here, Satan pursued her one time. And he pursued her one time before on verse 6. Verse 6. And God protected her. He's going to pursue her again. Verse 14, it says she escaped the devil again. So Satan tried to destroy Israel once before. He's going to try to destroy Israel again in the latter days, which is soon incoming. And Israel is really the key. Israel is the key to the end times. Because once Satan attacks Israel and tries to destroy Israel again, then it says here that he's not going to be able to destroy Israel, so he's going to come after the rest of God's children. And it says here, the woman was given wings, and so she got away. She fled into the wilderness again. The first time she fled into the wilderness, clearly, the wilderness is like anywhere but where the woman lives. And so she fled, verse 6, she fled into the wilderness before. And then verse 14, she has to fly into the wilderness again because Satan wants to completely obliterate her. Why does Satan hate the woman or Israel so much? Because the woman gave birth to Jesus. So Satan's going to come back to attack Israel. And then it says, verse 16, it says, the earth helped the woman. And this made, Satan was very, very upset about this. Because Satan keeps trying to destroy Israel, or the woman. And Israel continues to escape. And then it says here, 17, and also remember that the woman, she gets protected and cared for a times and a half. Times and a half a time. And she was cared for the previous time. So she was cared for before by God. And she's cared for a second time, which is now the latter days, which is she's going to be cared for again. But then if you look all the way toward the end, it says, verse 17, and the dragon was angry because, he couldn't destroy Israel. This is, he declares war against the rest of her children. This is what you got to understand. And who are these children? All those who keep God's commandments and maintain their testimony for Jesus. Who are these people? That's the Christians. Then it says the dragon took his stand on the shore beside the sea. This is the final stand for Satan. Alright, so Israel is one of the key, I would say one of the most important key factors. Because once Satan comes to destroy Israel, he's going to use all the tactics, all his authority to destroy Israel. And we're probably going to be made aware of it. It's going to be probably all over the news. There's going to be war against Israel. But right after that, it says, the ones who keep God's commandments and maintain the testimony for Jesus will be attacked.